FM 102.1 Mornings with Kramp and Adler. We have Lollapalooza starting off today right around noon or so. Is that right?
Yeah.
And as far as the bands go for the weekend, the real big ones that I'm looking forward to, I don't know if you're going to see anybody different than this, but Radiohead tonight.
Raconteurs tonight.
Wilco tomorrow with cool band. I like them, but also Rage.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Sunday, Nine Inch Nails is going to be performing. Even though that their webpage said they were just playing yesterday or tomorrow in Minneapolis. Didn't say anything about Lollapalooza.
I'm guessing they're still including.
We're going to have to ask the man who would know that, right? Trent Reznor. Hopefully this is him calling the bat phone. Hello.
Hi, it's Trent Reznor here.
Trent
Hey,
Reznor.
Trent. How you doing?
Hey, man. Honored to talk to you. How you doing?
I'm great. How about you?
Doing
Wonderful.
great. You're speaking to Kramp and Adler. We're the morning show here in FM 102.1 in Milwaukee. We play a bunch of Nine Inch Nails, and just to let you know that we actually play your music.
And our fans, yes.
Because yesterday we talked to Rick Springfield,
Yeah.
and we don't play Rick's music.
Well, that's a shame, man. I grew up with Rick.
And he's fascinating. He was on Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah. So he was more on the show for who he is, and he comes into Milwaukee five times a year to do shows at it's called Potawatomi Bingo Casino. So I imagine you don't have to play casinos with your popularity, do you?
It's coming. The day is coming.
Would you consider playing a casino, though?
We have played some casinos at points here and there.
Okay.
Wow.
If it became a full-time thing, I don't know. I'd have to take a long, hard look in the mirror here.
Yeah. I noticed that on your itinerary here, you left out Lollapalooza, but you have Minneapolis on the 2nd. Are you still coming to Lollapalooza?
Oh, yeah, we're going to be there Sunday. Yep.
Whew.
So you are, I believe, Trent, the only person to be at the first one in 1991, the first Lollapalooza, and now this one.
Yeah, the only one still alive, I think.
A lot of people dropped off along the way.
Well, Pearl Jam did it last year. That was really cool of them.
And it was run different, obviously, in 1991. But what do you remember about that first one?
It was really flattering to be asked to be a part of that, and it seemed like, at that time there was kind of a movement of these bands that didn't fit into what was really being played on the radio or popular, and to band them together under an umbrella and take that package out, and it was fun. It was fun playing with those guys. It was great memories.
Did you learn anything by being on a show like that or being in a part of a festival like that?
Well, the first date, we certainly learned how unprepared we were for that. We were going on right before Living Color. Remember them?
That's right, yeah.
Cult of Personality.
Vernon Reid, yeah.
With their flashy spandex, neon spandex outfits
Body
and
glove, I
all
believe,
of their
yeah.
professional gear. I look on stage and see a guitar cord that my dad got me when I was 13 years old, and junk equipment, and it basically melted in the sun on the first song. So time to step our game up a bit. But.
Yeah. So figured you have to buy new equipment.
Checklist.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Lots of things like that. But it was trial by fire, but it did wonders for us in terms of our popularity, and it was fun to be a part of.
I've read that there was a time that playing live wasn't fun for you. Is that true?
Well, it started off as fun, like being in the studios where Nine Inch Nails started, and the transition from that to live was an interesting experiment. Where when I put together pretty much a rock band to play this music, it was nice to see the music translate into something that was more alive and aggressive and interactive with people, and that was great. And then it got to the point where it was really fun to play live, and I dreaded going back in the studio. And eventually, by around the time The Fragile came out, I was in just such a bad state in my own life that touring became kind of it was terrifying, because I wasn't healthy enough to be on tour at that time. Anyway, things have turned around, and now it's probably the most relaxed I've been on stage. It's fun, and I feel confident about the band, and the production we're taking out this time is really what I'd hoped it would be, and it's an interesting way to see a show, and I'm very proud of it.
Do you feel like a lot more in control when you're in the studio versus being on stage, or is there really not much of a difference?
They're two different animals, The studio's where the hardest work takes place. It's looking at yourself in a very clear mirror, examining every flaw and trying to get the best you can out of yourself, very cerebral. Live, it becomes more of managing how the show's going, trying to read the audience, trying to keep from passing out, that sort of thing.
Have you put on some muscle in the last couple of years?
Yeah, I suppose I'm not quite as...
No, it's one of those things that when people say, have you seen Trent Reznor lately? Wow, he looks great.
Yeah.
Like, he looks healthy, looks ripped. So for two guys that are kind of out of shape here in Milwaukee, in the city that survives around beer, can you give us any pointers?
Well, I found when I quit drinking, there was 16 times the amount of time in the day that you have to fill up with something, and
Yeah.
masturbation can only eat up so much of that time.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, he burned so many calories, too. Yeah, I recently quit drinking. I've been going for just about 3 weeks of no alcohol, and I didn't really drink a lot to begin with, just, mainly Friday or Saturday night. But I feel better. Did you eat anything specific, though?
well, really, what it was for me was just a matter of trying to make myself feel better about myself.
Okay.
In some ways, walking on, especially with the motivation of a tour coming up, walking on stage, you feel like you're... I'd like to have armor on in some capacity.
Like you're at your best. Yeah.
And that's really what it comes down to. And then I think there's a balance of that getting out of hand as well.
Kramp Adler, FM 102.1. It's Trent Reznor. 9 Inch Nails is headlining this Sunday at Lollapalooza.
Trent, as far as I know, you were living in New Orleans for a while prior to the flooding. Do you still have a place there, or?
I still have a building that my studio was in.
Okay.
I decided to move out of there several months before Katrina, just by chance.
Wow.
And it wasn't moving because I really disliked the place. I just needed a change in my own life. I needed to get around my peers. And I have and still have very fond feelings of that place. And it's probably the closest to home. But I just needed to kind of, I realized one of the reasons I was there was to isolate, which I'm pretty good at. And I wanted to get around. Most of my friends were in L.A., and all of the businesses in L.A., and I wanted to kind of get into some new things. Watching that go down, that was terrible. And I've been back a few times since, and the city's coming back, but it's a different place now.
Speaking about new things and the difference, this doesn't pertain to the city of New Orleans, but it does pertain to the state of music and the industry itself. Along with Radiohead, you did something really monumental by allowing people to download and still download the Slip for free. We had recently spoke with Gene Simmons, and I remember you saying something about Gene Simmons that you hope that you don't fall into a similar trap to where you just make music to make money. And he had replied something to the effect of that you and the guys from Radiohead were crazy for allowing to have your music for free. Why did you decide to give us, your fans, the Slip for free?
Well, I didn't allow you to get it for free because anybody that wants to get any music can get it for free without mine or any other musician's permission.
Yeah.
Good point.
Effort, and that's just reality.
Mm-hmm.
And Gene Simmons, guided me through puberty and provided his role in my life, but is also coming from. He's a man that made riches from an established business that doesn't exist anymore. Things have changed, and there's a number of reasons they've changed. Record labels are at fault. Culture has changed. The internet has wiped everything away.
You've seemingly been ahead of it, though, almost.
What I do is try to pay attention to how I consume music and how I think that my fans consume music, and what interests them and what interests me, and if I could wave a magic wand and change the landscape and make the record business fair and treat consumers fair, hey, I'd be doing it. But I can't do those things. I realize there's some battles I can't fight, but what I can do is look at the landscape as it is right now, and being free from being on a record label and able to do what I think is right, try to do that and have the courage to do it and treat fans with respect, treat myself with respect. Just do the best work I can do.
Speaking about respect, I admire the way that you released the alternative reality game for Year Zero, and then you're planting seeds with your fans, the USBs at the concerts. That was an amazing way to get the new music out, and it was very inspirational. I did that once at an Eddie Vedder show down in Santa Cruz when I took a trip out to see him perform solo. I left my band CD in the bathroom, except nobody's gotten back to me yet.
Works differently.
Works for you, but not for me so much. We're on the phone with Trent Reznor from 9 Inch Nails, Sunday headlining Lollapalooza. Thank you so much for taking the time this morning. We know we got to let
really
you go, but
thanks for having me. And I got to say, this has been the show we're most looking forward to in the store. So.
And August 5th is still the release date in stores for the Slip, correct?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm just a musician here. I'm not sure at this point.
Very cool. 9 Inch Nails, Trent Reznor. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Trent.
you.
There's more Kramp and Adler coming up on FM 102.1.